And hello, YouTube. It is Saturday morning. I'm actually having one of the most enjoyable Saturday mornings I've had in ages. Whoa, purple fire truck. There's a wall. I'm coming out of U-Store right now, and there's a wall on the left that kind of makes it hard to see traffic coming from the left. And then I've kind of intentionally obstructed my view to the right with boxes of recycling. Oh, man. This is my chance. Oh, go, dude. Go, 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 go. Oh, I think that guy's trying to pick up a hooker. That's what I saw happen. I'm not sure if she's a hooker. She might be. Gosh, with them enforcing, with City of Phoenix enforcing that on 27th Avenue, maybe they're going to migrate back to Van Buren. It's possible. Anyway, yeah, not doing anything spectacularly exciting, but I figured I'd share this just since it's a drive that I don't normally make, and I figure this is as good of a way as any to time how long it takes me to do this drive. So as I said, I'm rolling out of U-Store. I want to say that I finished crushing all my recycling. In actuality, I didn't. I just stopped once the car was completely full. I do have everything crushed except for one big plastic bag full of plastic, and at this point, I'm like, over it. At some point, I will crush that stuff, but the car is full, and I mean full. Popped open the trunk to fill it with boxes, and I completely forgot I put a suitcase full of laundry back there, so that's been rolling around with me needlessly for a while. Not sure if I'm going to do my laundry today. Probably not as much as I should. Although I am trying to stay up until Bullock's opens. Yeah, thanks for cutting me off, dude. Yeah, I noticed when I started my show, my karaoke show on Thursday night, that the TV that sits closest to where the DJ booth, I'm using air quotes when I say DJ booth because I don't even set up in there, it's too confined. But anyway, that TV that Mario usually sits in front of, that's kind of like his reserve table. It wasn't. It didn't have any video on it. It was shut off. Like when I was starting the show, and I turned it on, and this pop-up message came on that said that the TV had shut down due to no signal. So I hit the input select just to make sure it was on the correct input. It was on HDMI 1, which is what it should be on, which shares the same DirecTV tuner as. Sorry, I'm trying to watch the traffic. There's a lot of freeway construction closures right now, so traffic's a little. I won't say unpredictable, but it's a little off because a lot of people don't bother to check the news or the ADOT website or their Google traffic before heading out, and then get surprised by closures that they could have easily known about before getting on them. And as always, an accident happened. Not because of it. I mean, I could say because of it, but the reality is just because of, people not paying attention to vehicles slowing down and stopping in front of them. And probably tailgating. But yeah, right now the I-10 eastbound is closed at the mini stack here. So all traffic is being diverted either onto either the northbound 51 or the loop 202. And maybe you can see it. I'm not sure if my video is catching it or not. I'm just seeing clear when I try to glance up at my phone. But yeah, consequently, there's a whole lot of people on I-10 that think they're going to be able to keep driving on I-10. And right now it's backed up, I want to say all the way to like 19th Avenue. At least that's what it was, when I checked it before leaving U-Store. But this morning as I was coming home from work, from Amazon, it was backed up starting at just before 7th Street. And go figure, there was also an accident there where the slowdown was at 7th Street. So, as if there wasn't enough, slowdown because of the construction and the restricted lanes, which you can see on the left on the side of the screen right now. Yeah, let's put an accident on top of it. Brilliant. And I'll be honest, I was thinking, Saturday morning, there's no traffic. But I thought I should check it just for GP, because you never know when and where there's going to be an accident that restricts traffic. And that's when I saw it, like closed ramps and an accident on I-10 and congestion on I-10. My original plan was I was debating between service streets or going south of downtown and taking I-17 to the other direction of I-10 and coming up to the 202. And then it occurred to me, it's almost the end of the month. Now is an absolute perfect time to just go to the Wells Fargo Bank at Midtown and withdraw whatever additional cash I need to get the money order for my rent. And so, yeah, I just made great time on I-10, all the way from 75th Avenue to 7th Avenue, and I'm watching all the traffic going into the tunnel going, I'll hit the traffic jam before you make it out that tunnel. And people are just flying into the tunnel full speed, like blissfully aware that they're going to be entering just standstill traffic in a mile. And meanwhile, I just exited off 7th Avenue, actually caught the green light going northbound on the 7th Avenue, hardly had to slow down at all for the curve because of the design of that intersection. And just smooth sailing all the way up to Thomas, right on red at Thomas, left at, I'm not sure if it's First Street, or I'm sorry, First Avenue or Second Avenue, but whatever it is that goes northbound between Central and 3rd, and just right up to the back entrance of my bank and up to the drive-through ATM. So yeah, potential traffic snarls didn't hit any of them at all. Just went straight there, had time to handle my banking, and take Thomas to 16th Street, hit the PLS, get my money order, and I still made it home earlier than I normally make it home on a weekday. So that was pretty awesome. Texted my landlord as I was rolling out of the bank, just to let him know. It's like, hey, if you're up, I got rent. And must have had my ringer silenced because I got home, I didn't realize he hadn't texted me. I checked my phone when I got home. And sat down, started working on music, put a cassette on. I'm still going through the tapes that Tim gave me a couple of weeks ago. There's three Paul Simon tapes in there. Graceland and Rhythm of the Saints, which are honestly my two favorite Paul Simon albums. But I listened to both on CD fairly recently. So actually I think I listened to Graceland on vinyl. But anyway, I listened to both those albums fairly recently. So looking at the other one, and it's a greatest hits collection of all of his like pre-African sound stuff, basically all his 70s and early 80s stuff. I think it's called Negotiations Love Songs, but it's that's where I meant to exit. I'm just driving to Amazon out of sheer habit. Totally forgot I needed to exit at 35th. Whoops. Whoops. That's fine. It's not that much out of the way to go up 43rd. In fact, I used to always go up 43rd until I realized it was a little shorter and quicker to go up 35th. I'm going to Brightgate Recycling, by the way. And I wasn't sure if they were open on Saturday, but I checked Google and it said they open at 7:30. So, and it's amazing. Like, Google Maps is just the most handy thing for that kind of information. I mean, the hours of a business aren't always accurate, but it actually will track. Google tracks like how busy certain businesses are. And apparently Brightgate gets enough traffic that it had a grid showing when their busy times are, and it showed that there were, it showed that, what their level of business is on a typical Saturday starting at 7:30. So I'm willing to bet they're open. Anyway, it's going to be about clock. It's 7:55. Put 3 minutes on it, so 7:58 right now. So it's going to be a little bit after 8 when I get there. So pretty sure they're open. No turn on red. Yeah, that guy went. Whatever. Do have to be careful. I very limited visibility behind me, and my blind spot is beyond a blind spot because of all the boxes of recycling. I mean, this car is literally full. Passenger seat, back seat. I guess I could have folded down. I got one of my back seats folded down. I could have folded down the other one and maybe got a little bit more in, but oh well. Hindsight. Duh. Thanks, Billy. Eyelash. I did have almost one more crush box full of plastic. I guess I could put in that spot if I'd have thought of it, but whatever. Not doubling back for it now. Wow. Every time I come up this way, I just get this crazy memory of when I was right after I got out of the mental hospital the last time. My father-in-law used to live at this corner house right here at Hubble, the house on the right there with the little child's play structure behind it. That's new. And I remember right after I got out of the hospital, and I was pretty manic and on edge. I mean, the doctors were not recommending I get released yet. Of course, I felt I was fine. I always feel I'm fine. But yeah, I remember, being super manic, borderline kind of episode manic, and walking with my daughter Allison in my arms, who I want to say was probably 14 months old. So, still very much a baby. And I remember walking down to that Fry's there at 43rd and McDowell, and a car, as I was trying to cross the street at Hubble, a car nearly turning right and hitting me. It's like, whoa, pedestrian with a baby. And I'm carrying her. I was never one for using a stroller. I figure as long as I'm healthy and she's healthy, I'm carrying. If she's sleepy, I'm carrying her, and if she's up to walking, she can walk with me. That was a bit long walk, so I did carry her, and she was a little sleepy. But yeah, God, every time I drive up the street, the memory comes back, just vivid, is so vivid. But yeah, that first car, like, nearly swerved, and I was thinking, God, these cars are just driving so fast with just no concern for the fact there's a sidewalk here. And I remember picking up a brick off the sidewalk. So I had Allison in my left arm, brick in my right hand, and as I got to that next side street, the only other one, the south of Hubble, north of McDowell, and sure as shit, this car tried to turn in front of me there as I was getting ready to cross the street, and I just lifted up the brick. I was like, dude, don't. I may be carrying a baby, but I got a free hand. I can throw a brick at you. And yeah, he yielded and let me cross the street. I'm trying to turn right here. The cone is not a helpful place for a person turning right. Anyway, yeah, God, crazy memory. It's a long time since I've gone up that stretch of 43rd Avenue. And of course now, Horst, my former father-in-law, has been dead for several years, and that proceeds of the house just got immediately sold. The proceeds of that house got divvied up. I do know my daughter Allison got some. I don't know how much she got out of it. None of my business. And to be honest, I think she told me. I just simply don't remember. But that's kind of in the category of the less I know, the better I feel about it. But anyway, I am kind of bummed that Horst, my former father-in-law, passed away before we were ever able to kind of make peace over my divorce with his daughter. But, I mean, you carry that kind of hatred with you to the grave, and that's what happens. And this is Bright Gate right here. They do not look open. Oh, this sucks. On Mondays, if gate is locked, please enter through 40th Avenue entrance. There's a 40th Avenue entrance? That's news to me. Wow. Oh man. I really hope they're not closed until Monday. You know what? I'm thinking this is the time I just gotta pull over, stop the recording, and give them a phone call. Because again, oh, you know what? That is not the entrance to Bright Gate. It is not. I'm so used to coming from 35th Avenue or 39th Avenue. It's blocked sooner than I thought it was. My bad. Oh, they're very much open. So, for those who've never seen it, this is the lovely Bright Gate Recycling. Yeah, it's pretty extremely ghetto, but I'm absolutely convinced this is the best for-profit recycling center in the Phoenix area. I've read reviews of all of them, and there was a time I used to kind of shop around looking for the best prices for aluminum and plastic, and at this point I don't do that anymore. I just come here. Most of the people that work here don't speak English, but they speak enough. I know what's going on. I know the routine, and usually they recognize me. Although it's been a while since I've been here. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Time to unpack my recycling, and I'll be back for the drive back. Oh, and my favorite woman is there, right there, standing up, unloading. I think that's her in the hoodie. She's super cute. Well, that was disappointing, as I pretty much expected it would be. But hey, it's done, and I feel like I did my part to, kind of recycle, keep plastic and aluminum out of landfills. So it's 8:32 a.m., still Saturday morning. Just rolling out of Bright Gate Recycling. I did stop on the side of the road to try to figure out what I was going to do with all the freeway closures that are going on right now, and all the traffic jams that are resulting because of them. And I think I got a plan, and I think my plan is solid enough that I can do it without watching Traffic View. So figured I'd share the drive with everybody. Like people are setting up, like a little freebie flea market on the vacant lot on the right. People selling stuff, hustling, trying to make ends meet. It's kind of tough, especially on this side of town. I got my heat on. That needs to stop. It hasn't really been a big deal that I don't have air conditioning, but I do not need heat right now. In fact, I need an open window, just not the one by me. A little cross breeze going through here. So, I knew recycling prices were going to be way down, but I wasn't quite braced for what they were going to be. On the bright side, they are still taking Type 1 plastic, so that's a good thing. With all that I had crushed and boxed, it would have been incredibly disappointing to just have to take it and throw it in a blue bin somewhere. I forget how much money I used to get doing this. I know I've saved all my receipts because I'm a hoarder like that. And most of them are more legible than this one. This one's really scribbly and illegible. But I got $33. I don't think she ever gave me coin change. It's $33. And I'm not sure how long I've been collecting and crunching that stuff down, but it's quite a while. I mean, I had this car full to the hill. There was a time not that long ago where if this car was full to the hill, well, actually more like the Benz, but no, I think I did it in this car a couple times too. But if I had a carload, I was usually leaving out of there with about $140, $150. Now, granted, the ratio of aluminum to plastic used to always be a lot higher than it was. Like I had, they've got these bins that that they have everybody empty stuff into, and they know how much they weigh, so when they weigh everything up, they subtract the weight of the bins to get how much product you're recycling there. And I had just shy of 4 full bins of plastic, and I don't even think I had half a bin of aluminum. I didn't have much aluminum at all. Now, to be fair, I think the last time that I cashed in recycling, I think I brought about equal aluminum and plastic. In fact, it might have been more aluminum than plastic. And at the time I did that, I left a lot of plastic behind in my storage. A lot of it just wasn't crushed or whatever. So, you know, consequently now I'm here with quite a bit more plastic. So, yeah, less money. But hey, I got $33 in my pocket that I didn't have, you know, a half hour ago. So, $33 is a good thing. I'll take it. It's kind of funny. Priscilla called me while I was there unloading, and she's talking about, oh, well, yeah, I've got plastic here, and you can stop and get my stuff and take it in, too. Yeah, she doesn't crush down her plastic. She wants me to share that little tiny amount of money with her. No. How about no? Yeah, yeah. Like, if I brought uncrushed plastic in the car, I don't think I would get enough money to even cover the cost of the gas driving there and back. So, yeah, no, not happening. If she wants to give me that recycling so I can move it over to my storage and crush it down, but yeah, I'm not splitting nothing. The amount of time I spend crushing that stuff, I mean, the amount of money I got, I probably got a whopping, you know, $1 an hour on the time I spent crushing it, if that. But as I've said before, it's, for me, recycling isn't about the money. It's about keeping that stuff out of landfills. And when I throw, you know, when I throw recycling into my car and I'm out and about, it's often for me about just kind of picking up trash in whatever neighborhood I'm in. So I'm making the neighborhood just a little bit cleaner. So yeah, I just went underneath I-10 there. For those not familiar, I'm on Grand Avenue. This is the fun 6-way intersection of Grand, Roosevelt, and 15th Avenue. And it's the next to last light on Grand. The next light is the last light up at 7th Avenue in Van Buren, where Grand ends. And if you keep going straight, you'll run into a McDonald's, like you literally run into a McDonald's. I got a video on my channel that I shot long before I started my vlog about what was done to Grand Avenue. As you can see, there's only 3 lanes going straight ahead. That used to be 4 lanes, and then they added bike lanes and center turn lane. Did a full-on, I guess what you'd call a road diet there. And as a result of that, oh wow, scooters are still here and they're all over the place. As a result of that, that stretch there from where I just turned left onto Roosevelt to where Grand ends at the corner of downtown there at 7th Avenue in Van Buren. Yeah, during rush hour traffic, people trying to come in and out of downtown, it's gridlock. And of course that was done to try to discourage people from using that route. But anyway, I got this video and I'll try to link it. It's on my channel. Like I said, it's probably about a year plus before I started doing this vlog. And somebody, as a form of protest against that road diet, had just spray painted some obscenities down the bike lane. I would imagine it's probably gone by now, but I don't know. I I think I was there. I think it was when I was still a juicer for Lime, and I think I was there picking up scooters and was just completely amused by what had been written on the across the bike lane. Somebody expressing their displeasure with the elimination of the traffic lane. I don't know. There's parts of me that wish that traffic lane was still there, and there's parts of me that's glad that they're making that street better for bicycles and pedestrians, and then along with doing that, also better for electric scooters. Oh wow, the KOY building is all fenced off on the right. I wonder what's up with that. Looks like they have some kind of a promotional event going on. I see the Camel Country van. I'm not even sure what broadcasting company owns that building now and what radio stations are in there. I don't think KOY is in there anymore. I think they got bought up by a different broadcasting conglomerate and moved elsewhere. Okay, I see somebody going northbound on an electric scooter there, riding a bird. But yeah, that building on the right, which isn't really, my video's not really catching it. That building right there. I actually worked in that building a long time ago, back in 1989. I worked for KOY FM, which was 95.5, best known as Y95. At that time, the building was owned by Eden's Broadcasting, but that building's very historic. KOY is, I believe, Phoenix's first radio station. I mean, the fact that they had a three-letter call, three-letter call letters as opposed to 4 letters kind of dates just how old they were. But yeah, they used to be on 550 AM, and they were actually a very popular top 40 station in the early 70s when I was a little kid. Okay, they got a sign on the building. It says KMLE 107.9, KOOL 94.5, and Live 101.5. So it's kind of interesting. I think Live 101.5 is the #1 pop station these days. So kind of interesting that building, nearly, 100 years later, still houses the #1 pop station. That's kind of neat. I have no idea what that building's like inside now. I don't think I've been in it in probably 30 years. But when I worked there, inside the lobby and throughout the halls in the building, there were many pictures of the history of the station, going back to like the big band era, era of the 1920s and 1930s and 1940s, and showing like Glenn Miller and his orchestra and Benny Goodman and his quartet and stuff performing live in the building, and just wild, like the history that station has. It's a fun deep dive, and it was really neat for me as somebody who grew up in Phoenix and listened to KOY as a pop station, to be actually working in that building. And at that point, KOY AM was still on the air as 550 AM. Fully automated at the time, just running kind of what they were calling, music, like, I think they were calling it like Music for Life, whatever you want to call it. It was basically like kind of a mixture between like easy listening and I don't know, music for old people. Of course now it's music for old people, 80s retro hits. But anyway, the music that I played when I was 19 and worked there. But yeah, KOY FM at the time was kind of a rock-oriented hot top 40. So that meant that we were playing bands like Skid Row and artists like Bobby Brown, like back to back. Trying to think what was really popular then. Janet Jackson, the Rhythm Nation album was really hot at the time. Also, Milli Vanilli. What was the biggest album back then? Milli Vanilli, Girl, You Know It's True. Oh yeah, 1989 was a fun year. But then we were playing a lot of like the tail end of what was popular hair metal. Keep in mind, this is before before the whole alternative grunge thing hit. So the hair bands that were popular were just pretty much pop bands at the time. You're talking like, you know, Poison and Winger and we were mixing that kind of stuff in. But God, it was a really fun job, and such a great thing to be doing at 19 years old. As opposed to like what I'm doing now, where I'm surrounded by a lot of people that are working at 19 years old. But anyway, speaking of work last night, I don't think I mentioned that hardly at all on the ride out to cash my recycling. So, oh, and by the way, I'm going down Roosevelt because I-10 is closed and it's an absolute parking lot from, I don't know, last I checked, about 15th Avenue all the way to where all traffic's being forced onto either the 51 or the 202. So I might not be driving very fast on Roosevelt, but hey, at least I'm not stuck in gridlock. So yeah, I'd much rather be doing 30 miles per hour on a surface street than, for that matter, 30 miles per hour on a surface street than 30 miles an hour on a freeway. 30 miles an hour through this neighborhood is enjoyable and scenic. Oh wow, those old little townhouses on the left are being renovated. Well, I bet somebody's making a small fortune on those right now, especially if they're turning them into rental property. It's kind of wild seeing this neighborhood get gentrified, because the Garfield neighborhood has long been considered a really bad neighborhood, and it's gentrifying quick. I do feel bad for people that are getting pushed out and priced out, but I mean, people should have seen this coming, and not that many years ago it would have been pretty cost effective to buy one of those houses, and you would have made a hell of a profit. Oh man, I messed up my phone. I got it at a funky angle right now. Oh, can I fix that? No, maybe. There we go. It's a little better. Yeah, I need to stay on this all the way to 24th Street. So anyway, work last night. As I stated, I did go to inbound docks. I get those so confused. I went to inbound docks first, just because that was my home area, and I figured I was pretty sure that today was the last day that I didn't have to go to prep and receive, ready to be done with prep and receive. And wow, these are all brand new buildings on the right. Look at that, casting a big old shadow. It's actually kind of nice. Now, if memory serves, that block used to have a DES building in it. I thought the park is still here. I'd be very sad if Edison Park got sold to developers to put in pack and stack apartments. And 20th Street, where you can see the remnants of the traffic light pole that was there, you know, where the stoplight pole used to be. Stoplight used to be at that intersection back in the 90s. 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think they took it out in like the mid-90s, if memory serves. Wow, look at this area. We got quite this unofficial swap meet going on there along 20th, or not 20th Street, but 21st Street. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm down to do that sort of thing for extra money, but I would like to coordinate with Alan the next time he's doing a yard sale. So we can both set up tables next to each other. Or he can have his in front of his door and I can have mine in front of my door. Although I'd rather set up closer to him and just kind of hang out with him. That I think would be even nicer. Anyway, so as I was saying, oh shit, I was supposed to turn left here. Whoops. Yeah, I got a car behind me. I can actually turn left at the next street and go through the neighborhood, though, and double back. Oh, brand new traffic light pole on the right. I can tell it's one of the new poles because it's the kind that goes straight up and straight across. It has way more signals on it than needed. And no street sign. I haven't put a street sign on it yet. Actually, this is one of my old taxi driver tricks for when the left turn lane there at 24th Street is horribly backed up. Oh, look at the little Saturn on the right. I'd love to buy one of those old 3-door Saturns. Those are fun. Last time I saw one for sale, when I doubled back to get a better look at it, it was gone. I never did even get to find out what they wanted for it. Yeah, when traffic is super heavy at that left turn lane, I can usually always turn left where I just did, and then catch a quick right here. Ooh, something broke down in the traffic lane. Yikes. So I did mention, I was trying to say what I did when I went to work. So yeah, so I went to Inbound just to find out, if I was able to do something other than prep and receive yet. And Joe was there, but he had some new person that I've never worked with before. I don't even want to say new person. Obviously they're not a new person, or they wouldn't have been scanning people in. But it was somebody I didn't know. So obviously, like somebody that doesn't work on front half. I mean, I was with a lot of people I didn't know, there on a Friday. Well, there was, more than enough familiar people as well. But anyway, I asked Joe, and he told me, hey, as long as you made it through the first 2 days, you should be good. And then I asked if he needed, I told him that I, got recertified for forklift, and asked if he needed any drivers, and he told me how many drivers he has. He's like, nope, I got all the drivers I need. I'm like, well, nothing personal, but if I'm free to drive again, I think I want to go over to Outbound and see if they need any drivers. But I just thought I'd check in with you first. And he's like, okay, that's cool. And meanwhile, the person checking people in seems totally bewildered, because here I am, just in a, not a management type safety vest, just pretty much dictating what I'm going to do. And she's looking at me all funny, like, wait, who are you that you get to just not, you just get to say you're going somewhere else and leave? I don't even know who the hell you are. I'm like, oh, hi, I'm Dan. Nice to meet you. And proceeded to go over to Outbound. I did not know the AM that was working that shift. I don't think I'd ever met him before, but the PA, which was the lower level manager, he's somebody I worked with several times. Although he's the one who had to deal with my my first incident that got me suspended. So I'm sure he's just like, oh God, don't come in here and hit something. But anyway, almost think it'd be funny to start like a Deadpool for for my coworkers to bet on one day I'm gonna have my next pit incident that gets me suspended again. Oh, because it's just the way Amazon is with their pit drivers and everything being the fault of the forklift driver. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. It just is what it is. Anyway, had a great day driving the forklift. It felt absolutely liberating to be back on a forklift again. And ended up, I wanted to do 2 totes. They had already assigned somebody to totes, which is fine, because obviously I got to stand up a little late because I went to Inbound first. But he was pretty happy to see me back, know I was back. He's like, yeah, I can definitely use you North Side loading trucks. And I'm like, Nice. So yeah, loaded trucks all night long. They actually put me in one of the smaller zones. As I explained, there are different work zones that are separated by barriers, and I was one. Some of them have like 2 loading zones and 2 docks, and some of them have 3 or 4 loading zones and 3 docks, and I was in one that has 3 loading zones and 2 docks. So yeah, I actually was way ahead, and at one point I ended up going and finishing up another trailer. So anyway, the AMs, first time I ever worked with him, he seemed super impressed with me. So that was pretty cool. Made for a really fun night. It made the time pass super quick. Anyway, as I mentioned, Priscilla did call while I was unloading my recycling. Yeah, she's high if she thinks I'm going to stop and waste vehicle space for her uncrushed recycling or split money on stuff that I crush myself. There's like no money to speak of. I mean, there's probably less than $1 worth of plastic that she's got in bags not crushed. Like, yeah, not worth it. Not worth it. Anyway, on that note, I'm almost to her place, so I should wrap this up. But I did text her just leaving out. I was like, hey, if I come back, will you draw me a bath? And she said yes. So can't turn that down. Anyway, thanks for coming with me on this drive, and yeah, I'll be back with more. So, you know, like and subscribe if watching me drive around the city of Phoenix, talking to myself is something you find enjoyable.